That's right again. We're back in the Tiptix Podcast Mobile, cruising along for another brand new episode of the Tiptix Podcast. And as always, you got your favorite fucking hosts, Brett, my boy, and then me, Eduardo, here riding shotgun, shoddy. We're just cruising, low key. It's a lovely Saturday here in the virtual studio, and we're just chilling. About to embark on another journey. We definitely had a lot of fun really talking about UFOs on the last one. We decided to shift gears here and talk about some other interesting, cool things, I guess you could say. But yeah, man, how are you today, dude?
Hey, man, I am drunk. I've been
shit.
drinking all morning.
Breakfast, dinner, and lunch.
Lunch, dinner. Yeah. Beer for breakfast. Beer for lunch.
Good man.
Beer for the ride home.
Drinking and driving.
I
Responsibly.
haven't seen my family in a few days. No, man, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You're just
still
chilling,
looking pretty futuristic. Look at those.
Dude,
you got the.
I know, man. I definitely want to get on your level, though. I am eyeing those brown ones. The more that I look at them, like the more I really want to get them. Just because they see the eyes a little bit, like a hint of them, at least, so they know that they can see the fear. You know what I'm saying?
They call these like nighttime glasses.
The which ones?
They call them like nighttime glasses. I mean, the official name, if you go to pitviper.com, they are not a sponsor.
Not yet.
For one, they are $69.69. And they're called the money counters.
So if it's the persona, man, because I mean that Cardano, what is it? It's making some moves, right?
Oh, Cardano is making some moves, and hey, Chip Touch, Eddie, all you heard on the previous episodes, 912, 5912, 5912. What's 5912? $5 by September 12th. That is the release of the smart contracts on the ADA. That's what makes ADA an official cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
right? That's what gives ADA its usage. And right now, if you're going in ADA, literally you're just an early investor. You are someone who sees, you're a visionary. If you are in ADA right now before September 12th, you are a visionary, and you deserve to be rewarded, because when after it hits $5, it's gonna go parabolic, and there's no turning back. You will never see these prices ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I said fuck it, and I'd rather gamble this way. I feel like it's better to gambling this way than going down to the casino and spending fucking $100 and losing it, then pulling out 200 more, then losing that. And then it's
I'm telling you, this is not a gamble. If you're in ADA, that is an investment. If you are in Dogecoin, that's a gamble. If you're in Shiba Inu, that's a gamble. If you're in SafeMoon, that's a gamble. Okay? And I know a lot of you listeners are in that shit, and I'm just saying, get out of it. Quit being stupid. Get on your game and get on the ADA train and go parabolic with us. All right? There's plenty of people. There's plenty of room for more people in this rocket, and we are launching. Okay? So just quit being stupid. Quit gambling, people. At least just get into ADA a little bit. You won't be mad. You won't be sad. You're gonna be like, oh, Brett, that's the best crypto advice that I have ever seen. Well, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying.
He's Brett Sardamus. That's what I say, because he's guessed a few things before we would just talk about and just, have these conversations. He would guess some things, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, you were pretty close, dead on, But one thing I want to say, though, one thing we should talk about first, just because we're in this circle of crypto right here. So they're saying, okay, Cardano's officially in the Japan cryptocurrency market now, right? Officially.
Yes, sir.
So that means that, and they say so the one thing that I was reading from this article when it was talking about it, it was talking about how they're really strict in regards to who comes in the ship, in regards to like what they're putting out there on the market. And for you to be accepted to within that circle, you're pretty much running with the big dogs. That's kind of from my understanding. I mean, yeah. I kind of want to talk to you about that and just, fill me up on that knowledge.
I didn't know that they were that strict. I thought, one thing I just can't stand about the American market is how strict we are with how much regulations we have. But I didn't know that about Japan.
That's kind of from the, word per word. I mean, I don't know if it said that, but that's just kind of how I understood it. Like, but they did say it was a really strict market for any crypto like currency to go in through that. So, and then Cardano's on it. So, I mean, that tells you something, right?
Yeah, man.
Good
Well,
moves.
I tell you, Cardano, I mean, for people that don't know, I know I've said it a lot on the show, but for a lot of people that haven't heard this, or if this is your first time, by the way, if this is your first time listening to the show, we are trying to build our YouTube audience. We're doing really good with our audio. We're really happy with seeing
Yes,
those
really
numbers
happy.
just go and go and go. But, you
Yep.
know, if there's something, we just ask that you can share this, that you can like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let's boost this channel a little bit. We're trying to grow these numbers, and and you guys are an integral part of that. So just like our crypto portfolios are growing, we want our numbers on YouTube and all the other platforms to grow as well.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And also just to kind of, it's cool to see, like you're saying, see our numbers grow and hopefully we grow much more. But it's also cool to see where people are listening, like in different countries that are listening to us. And I kind of want to shout these places out because I think I just want to say thank you, for everybody that's at least tuning in or has tuned in the past. So we got people from the U.S. of course listening, Germany, shouts to Germany, Belgium, Canada, Argentina, Finland, Brazil, the Philippines, Mexico, of course, and Mother Russia. So we got people from those places listening. So hey, thank you, and hopefully you continue with us on this journey and just keep on listening. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And reach out with us on Instagram, interact with us. We're friendly. We don't bite, and when we do
yeah.
bite, we bite. It's
Softly.
soft. We're gentle. We're gentle biters.
More like nibbles, man.
Yeah, yeah. We just nibble. Like, and then sometimes giggle when you tickle us, but. That sounds some other shit. But no, back to Cardano. You were talking about Cardano, and then the Japanese market being strict. So it doesn't surprise me at all that ADA would be on exchanges in Japan, because some of the projects that Cardano is working with are really they're amazing. They're life-changing things. And so one thing I've heard Charles Hoskinson talk about is you look at Silicon Valley in San Francisco, and a lot of those people feel like they have a stranglehold on the technology field. And Charles Hoskinson, he doesn't really jive in with them, and he doesn't really like how pompous a lot of these people are. He's going, well, wait a minute. You guys are making, six figures, the 500, anywhere between like 200 to 500 and, on up 1,000 a year. But his theory is, we have people in Africa, in developing nations, that can literally pound for pound keep up with everything that Silicon Valley is putting out, and they can do it for a fraction of the price. So he's thinking that people in Africa can give Silicon Valley a run for its money. And I applaud that. I think that, as this world, globalization is a sort of like a trigger word for a lot of people these days, because what they see is just more and more interactions. And I think that a lot of the people that feel most threatened by globalization are the people that really feel like they have nothing to offer, people who didn't apply themselves and who maybe just got lucky. And so when you introduce globalization where, I can go to, if I need an app created and I can go to Africa and get someone there who speaks my language, who, I can say, hey, I can produce a smart contract and say, hey, can you do this? These are the parameters I need it done to. They do it. Boom. I pay them a fraction of the price that I would pay some guy that I can't even stand and would never want to meet in person in Silicon Valley. How awesome is that? How awesome is that?
Ballin'.
Well, and so though that's just one of the things that the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, talks about. He just talks about the fact that there is a huge disparity in wages, not just in our country, but in the world. There's just so like there's countries that are just falling off, and the currency of the future is technology.
Yeah.
And he is and the beauty about it, and the one thing that a lot of people saw through this pandemic is there were so many people that were working from home. So imagine being a coder, imagine being a computer miner, a cryptocurrency miner. Imagine doing whatever you want to do as your profession from your laptop from home, anywhere you want to live. So even if you're in America and you want to move somewhere, you now have this opportunity. The future is opening that opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's the idea probably, the idea is pretty dope to think you can work remotely from anywhere anywhere you want to be at, whether you're traveling but you're still working, you got your laptop on you and all that. I mean, I think that's what they're eyeing even more now. They're saying, why are we paying this massive amount of money for space for people to come in, that do a lot of, work that's just computer related and all that, while they can just stay home. We're saving money with that. And then it's kind of like it's almost like a common ground for the employee and the employer at that point. See what I'm saying? So, that's something I can definitely see here down the future, where it's going to be more of that, where, work from home. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's wild. And then, just one thing I wanted to talk about before we get out of crypto is there was an article I was reading about the banks. The banks had an emergency meeting and recently, and they are basically sounding the alarm right now.
They're panic mode.
What's that?
They're in panic mode now.
They're in panic mode. They said that cryptocurrencies, there's I think $2 trillion invested in crypto right now. $2 trillion. I mean, and this is the world, right? But that is basically a lot of people that are saying, okay, my fiat, whether I'm in Germany, whether I'm in Japan, whether I'm in India or the USA, where the printer goes brr, they're not happy. We are not happy with the fact that the Federal Reserve has diminished the 96%. The value of the dollar diminished it by 96%. The dollar is worthless, and it's barely hanging by a thread. I'm telling you, I think that within the next decade, it could be removed from the world currency, and we could see Bitcoin being the world reserve currency. I think we're going to see that.
Yeah. I think that shows the power of the people as well, and power in numbers, like that says something. 2 trillion is just not your ordinary couple thousand million or whatever, And I think at this point they're saying, the more people are going to jump on this ship and kind of stand their ground to where, it's kind of like almost the short squeeze with AMC and all that. Like people went, for that. It short squeezed the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah.
But it's the power of numbers where, if we do this as in kind of like a fuck you to the Federal Reserve, they're going to start shitting bricks. They're going to start shitting bricks.
I'm trying to train myself not to be so and antagonistic and not have such an antagonistic approach toward the government. Because they just want to fund wars and destroy regimes and give terrorists money. That's all they want to do, right? What does that matter to me? So what I tell people is get as much money out of the dollar as you can. So if it needs to be, you need money in, let's just say, you should have a savings account for like your expenses, right? But with crypto being where it's at right now, I would say put a lot of your money into crypto, but also, your real assets. Get those debts taken care of. Get out of debt. That's really the best thing that you can do. But even with that, you should still have a crypto plan. Gold, silver, those are good. Those are still good old-fashioned stores of value. They're not going to lose money. And then as the dollar continues to weaken and diminish in value, you're always going to have silver and gold you can exchange. Real assets. If you are someone who can buy land or even take a loan for a house, do whatever you can that gets you out of the dollar as much as you can, because the less dollars that are circulating and going into the economy, the weaker the dollar becomes. And then we can use the currency that is the power, which we're hoping it's crypto, and it's not just going to be one winner. It's going to be a lot of winners. There's going to be ecosystems that use Ethereum. There's going to be ecosystems that use the Binance Smart Chain. There's going to be ecosystems that use ADA, Cardano. So the future is coming, but the quicker we can get out of the dollar and discontinue using it as much as we can, and get out of it and just limit how much we have of it, keep it to a bare minimum, the quicker we can get the dollar away, and the quicker we can go to a currency that is not manipulated. That's the biggest problem with the dollar, the US dollar, is that it's manipulated beyond control. So the beauty of decentralization, it cannot be manipulated. Centralized dollar, centralized fiat, it absolutely can, and just wait until the US introduces the digital dollar. Then you will see, you think the manipulation is bad now, just wait till you see the digital dollar come out. You'll see it in China. Sorry. Had to get all that stuff out. But it was all on my mind, and I just wanted people to know.
Good shit. Yeah, no, we just got to keep it interesting here, man. Yeah, it'll be, I believe it'll be in our lifetime for sure when it'll come to that, you know what I'm saying? So it would have surprised me. It's going to be here pretty soon. So yeah, I mean, shit, we'll keep on talking about it too here on the pod, and definitely just keep the folks updated, because I feel it's maybe something that's going to be helpful for somebody out there that's probably just curious enough to really, dive themselves into it. I know I am still trying to learn a lot, so I'm by no means no master or no, I'm not really fully
novice
knowledge on this. So I'm a beginner, just like anybody else.
Yeah.
But
you do
what
good.
is it? What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. No, but your prediction. What year do you think all this will kind of maneuver that way, that direction?
2030.
Oh, damn, you had that year in that.
Well, it's just because of the banker emergency meeting, they said that the cryptocurrencies can overtake the dollar within 5 to 10 years. So I'm gonna take them at their word. Those guys, they're the ones that are scared, not me.
Yeah,
I'm the one already in crypto. They make their living off of fiat, so it's awesome to watch them shake and be scared. Scared little bitches. I love it.
You're on your Suge Knight shit. I can tell that. Minus the cigar and minus Damu.
I think the thing that excites me the most about cryptocurrency and the decentralization of it, when you have a currency that is decentralized, your governments can't fuck you over. Your banks can't fuck you over. How many times we've seen gold and silver manipulated because JP Morgan, they've paid those fines. They paid the world's largest fine for manipulating gold, and for them it was still, they just see it as, it's just the cost of doing business. They still made tons and tons of money. So if we can get them in a position, like banks and governments, in a position where no, this is our currency and you can't manipulate it, then we're not going to run into crises like we're facing right now with inflation. Joe Biden, under his watch, our inflation is going through the roof. Gas prices, food prices, and people are genuinely scared. So imagine a day where we don't have to worry about inflation like that, where you don't have all that BS going on. There's always going to be real issues, like if a crop, like say a country tries to export their crop and they have a bad season, prices are still going to go up for, like avocados. We've seen avocados go through the roof before. And that's Mother Nature. There's nothing you can do about that. But when you can limit the amount of times where your purchasing power is disrupted, how amazing is that? People's pensions, they don't get screwed over on their pensions and their 401ks. Imagine that. Sure. Imagine that. Cryptocurrency is the cyberpunks taking power back in control for the people. This gives people the control again. And that's why the governments hate it. They hate losing the control, but more than that, they hate the fact that they can't manipulate it. It scares the shit out of them.
Bars.
That's it. 2030, baby.
Bars. So before we jump into this to this next topic, I want to say this firsthand. Though. This is just because it's on my mind. Have you seen the movie Apocalypto?
Apocalypto, no.
With Mel Gibson, he directed it.
Oh,
Talks about
the old, like the Indian,
the
indigenous, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That movie is so. I think I've only watched it like 2 times. Not I was gonna say a handful of times. But I only watched it like 2 times, 3 now after this. It trips me out to think that that legit happened. That was like their lifestyles, human sacrifices for the sun gods, being able to be hunter gatherers, living off Mother Earth, providing rain for their drinking water and all that.
Yeah,
I was just like, that is fucking crazy. It always just trips me out to think, when movies like that, because it was a pretty good movie, like to live at those times, and then when the Spanish came over, and brought
conquistadors,
the conquistadors and all that. Oh man,
Columbus Day. For all my people.
No, but it was wild. Well, this kind of leads into what we're going to talk about here next, and I just find it pretty interesting. And it's one of those things where I definitely had to come on the pod and talk about it, and just kind of like just talk about this. So they found DNA of an ancient teen girl that holds unknown human secrets. So first things first, this teenage girl was buried 7,200 years ago.
Wow.
And it was found in a cave in Sulawesi. And again, if I butcher these words,
hey, we aren't
sorry.
Geologists.
We're just podcasters.
We're not weather forecasters.
So again, the bones were found 7,200 years ago on an Indonesian island of Sulawesi. It tells a story of a previously unknown group of humans. So think about it. We have no record of what, these humans or this teenage girl, from 7,000 years ago. I mean, that was, what would they say that 7,200 years ago was like when they say AD or.
Well, 2000, we're in 2021. So we're in 2021 AD after the death. And then, but I guess the new woke community calls it the common era or whatever.
Oh my god!
They try to take Christ out of everything. Bunch of bitches.
Wait! I didn't hear about this.
No,
when did they try to do this?
It was. I think I was still I graduated high school in 2001, and that's when I started to see it. I think the millennium, they were like, all right, this is our time. We gotta start ignoring Christ. We can't call it BC and AD, after death, before Christ, anymore. It's BCE, before Common Era, and then AD, whatever they made it up. I don't know, but I refuse to acknowledge it. I still call it BC AD.
That's how I've always known it.
And, I mean, because that was essentially the timeline, like that the world went off. They were like, hey, Jesus died on this day, so we're gonna say that this is when time starts. This is the new time clock for man. So anything after he died, that's what this. Anything before he died, it's gonna be negative years.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
I had no clue about that.
Don't be
that's
mad.
Insane.
Don't be mad. Our God was better than yours. Your God sucks. You didn't get the calendar named after him. The Mayans did, though.
Yeah. That's insane. You hit me with one. I had no clue about that. That's wild. But anyways, back to what we were saying though.
Yeah, 7,000 years. That's before the Bible's written.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought it'd be more than that. No, I'm getting schooled here. See, you're like I said. That's why I like having you on this, because you correct me when I need to be corrected. Which, of course, I'm willing to learn every day. So you keep me on my toes.
Too much credit.
So this young woman shares ancestry that's with a separate and distinctive group from Asia. No descendants of the lineage remain, so they have no clue, no idea, no files on this whatsoever. So here we are finding something, just like anything else. They always uncover all these bones or these structures underneath the ground. Did you know in Japan they found like what they call like stairways that are going down, and they found like what it looks like to be these pyramids. So now that's it's a new thing. I'm like, What
In Japan?
the fuck? In Japan,
Wow.
like on the ocean side of it or whatever. But
The ocean side of it.
it's
It's an island nation.
well, see, man, I'm dumb as it comes. I'm telling you,
Oh,
I'm not schooled up. No, but it's shit like that,
crazy.
and it's stuff like this. It's like we still don't know a lot of things, especially had to do with the ocean. Like, I mean, it's like a vast part where we have no clue. It hasn't really been, fully
Dude.
explored and all that. It's just like that's one of my fears. I'll tell you what right now, podcast listeners. I fear the ocean. That's one of my many fears. I never want to like just jump in there. I don't know what's underneath. Dude,
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, I went out to the ocean one time, and it was when I first moved to Washington, and I learned about the riptides.
Oh my god.
Luckily, not the hard way, but I was like, I was going out, and I kept going out further and further and further, but I noticed that the water was changing color, and I'm like, huh, this is interesting. But then I was like, I better go back in because, like, what if this thing takes me out and I can't swim back in, And sure as shit, that's exactly what these riptides do, and they pull people out all the time.
God. Nah, man, no thank you. I just, no, fuck no. It's just one of my many fears, man, especially, I mean, it's cool to look at, cool to be, get in the water, at least where I can hold my ground. But after that, nope, no thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
I know.
So
Okay, so you're this island that this this new breed of humans or whatever. That's essentially what it is, right? New breed of human. It's in the Asian community, then Asian country.
I guess that's what it says here. That it's from a group of from Asia, but the descendant of that girl that they found, no lineage, nothing. Yeah, so I mean,
Ancestry.com. Come on, man, come
right?
through.
We got to swab.
Trace that
we
bitch.
Swab it up. We got to swab it up, send it to the lab, see where truly where it came from. No, it's crazy, man. But this also another thing too that many people aren't aware. There's also like a small group of like on an island. I forgot exactly where, but there was a story of this island where there was these indigenous people still living, haven't had contact with anybody from the world right now as it is.
Yes.
They're still, doing the hunter-gatherer thing, just wearing those little like they're pretty much nude from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Or close to being nude with their carved spears and everything. And there was a story there that an actual person tried to go on the island, and I think it was, I don't know, I want to say he was like a Catholic or a Christian, but he went on there, and they never heard of him since. So
Yeah,
I'm assuming they killed him. I mean, yeah, or eaten, one of those two. We don't know if these people are cannibals, but there's still places like that, bro. Like, and it makes you think, like, we don't know too much about them either. I mean, from if nobody's getting close to the island, so it could be one of those situations. Like maybe, I don't know. They could be still probably living. We don't know yet.
No, I hear that, and I've the Amazon forest. I think there's still some indigenous tribes down there that the Brazilians actually petition for their government for them to
Just keep
stop
them to
destroying
themselves.
the rainforest, so that for one, the Earth's lungs are not all taken away for corporations, and two, so these indigenous tribes can still have their resources, their means, their land, and everything to, without having to integrate into society. I read a book one time. It was called, I forget what it was called, like Rio something. And it was about our President Theodore Roosevelt, how he had run for election and lost, and to William Taft, and he was just defeated on his election. And so with that, he was like, you know what? I'm going to pull myself up by the bootstraps. I'm going to go down and explore the Amazon, this river. River of Doubt is the name of the book.
Okay.
And so this was before the Amazon had been fully explored. So he was actually on a trip where they were charting the map. They were making the map. They were
As they went?
logging everything, all their information. They were writing the path of the river, and he was talking about these Indians that were out there, and how they had like poison tipped darts. How they could, you had to be very careful when you went through the river, and because if they saw you and they attacked you, they'd they'd shoot you with the poison dart. You'd die. And he almost died on that trip. He if it wasn't for his son, because he told the rest of the crew, "Hey, I'm a hindrance. Just leave me. Let me die." But his son Kermit said, "Nope, I'm not going to let Dad go. I'm going to carry him. I'm going to take care of him," and kept him alive to finish the trip.
Man.
So
That's crazy, man. Especially, those, like, just read books where people, like, back in the day, how they described the land to be before it was like, when they first came in America and all that. Like, you've told me some stuff, and it's just crazy to think that, like, oh man, it's like the discovery of just anything new is just, it's insane. Especially with the Amazon too, like not knowing what really is all in there. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's I mean, do you ever think about visiting those places like that, like going over there, like anywhere in the world? Like, where would be one of the things you'd want to see? Like, for me, it would be like the pyramids in Egypt.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I want to visit Machu Picchu, but I've heard from so many people that it's not worth the trip, just
really?
because they you go there and it's like lame. You can't touch anything. You can't look, whatever. But pyramids, certainly there's pyramids in Peru that I want to see, and then also Mexico. Definitely want to see those. So yeah, those are definitely things that I want to see. I'm just so fascinated by how humans, like modern, our species, how we started.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was about those pyramids, but there was that shape that you saw in Egypt and you saw in Central America, or it was crazy. It's crazy. What about these animals or these shapes? Did they think they were talking to a god? What? I don't know. It's wild.
I think that just holds a lot of mystery. Like you were saying, going off of what you're talking about, like, is it just a coincidence that, like, certain civilizations had the same idea where they're going to make these pyramids, and for what reason? You know what I'm saying? And I know in Egypt, it was covered by like this gray material, like back when they had them up, like without being, obviously damaged and all that.
Yeah.
So they looked a lot more different. But I mean, dude, like you're saying, it's crazy to really know what was the reason behind this, how they really did it. Like, there's still so many, conspiracies and all that, like just all that stuff to really know, or how did they do it and why?
Yeah.
What was the purpose?
Well, and what's fascinating too, the language has changed.
Yeah,
customs have changed. So like when you are someone who wants to go back and look at it, I mean, you have to learn the language.
Yep.
You have to understand their writings on their walls, and like the game that the Aztecs played where they had the ball and they would hit it through the hoop. Yeah. And I'm like modern basketball. I see LeBron fall over a fake push, like someone will push him and then he'll just fake fall and like he'll act like it was the worst thing. I'm like, he would never hang with the Aztecs. Like the Aztecs would literally just slaughter him.
Dude,
could you imagine? Ref?
I know.
And he was just crying. Like, come on, man, you're done. Out. Get out.
Didn't they play to the death in that game too? I heard like if the loser gets sacrificed or he gets killed or something like that. Like, dude, you weren't fucking around back in those days, dude.
They were the original Taliban.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, they were not playing around back in those days. I'll say that, bro. But yeah, the evolution of just humans and just how we came to be. Now what I'm worried about, or the decision comes to be like, I'm just saying this out there randomly. Do I want to upgrade to the new iPhone that's coming out? Do I want?
Is there a new iPhone coming out?
Yeah, there is. I'm just saying though, like those are the things we worry about. Back then it was more like, are we going to be able to grow our crops? How are we going to survive? How are we going to go? Are we going to get a kill? A fresh kill this afternoon or whatever? It's like,
yeah. Yeah, now you got people like me. I'm like coming home and I'm like, oh, I got to check my Daedalus wallet and see how much ADA I staked before the epoch is up. Everything I just said, if you're not in crypto, especially ADA, you understand nothing what I said. Nothing.
It's all what is it? It's all a different language like we were talking about.
Because I'm no longer human, It's gonna be a beautiful thing. I can't wait till we have the USB drive. Well, I hope that all the conspiracies with the COVID, the kill. Well, I'm hearing a number of conspiracies with the shot.
Okay.
I hear some people calling it the kill shot, like how, in 2 to 3 years everybody's supposed to die,
Yeah.
But then I'm hearing other things, how like all the nanoparticles in it, or like they're tracking us and doing all this thing. But eventually the goal is to turn us into like cyborgs. And so we're slaves to the system without even realizing we're slaves.
Yeah.
Like I will deliver Amazon packages and without peeing, and I don't care where I need to pee, but I'm going to keep serving the master, Bezos. And you just keep going. You don't even need a family. They decide your family for you. Such a bright future.
I hear a bunch of them, man. Some are just too fucking out there. I'm like, for someone to really take time and to really like put all this together is like, wow. I mean, it's just kind of crazy to me. But wasn't that a thing when you're talking about they want to upload, like, we're talking about robots and all that. They want to upload like someone's conscience into a robot. That's kind of like,
I haven't heard conscience.
Or you're like someone's like their
like,
brain.
say you're a doctor and
Yeah.
you have all this knowledge, right? And you're a specialist. And imagine someone graduating from high school, and then you could literally plug a USB port into his brain, and then instead of like doing 8 years of college, at 18 years of age, you could have 30 years of this doctor's experience in your head.
For a low price of
going to do my first heart surgery at 18. Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Nah, dude, at this point with Elon Musk in the picture, I don't put nothing past it, man. I mean, you're already implanting these things in your brain where you can control the computers and all that. Monkey's being able to play the fucking ping pong game on the computer with his mind. I mean, that is true shit. They put a chip in this monkey's brain, and he was able to control this game on the computer with his mind.
Okay, we're testing on monkeys, but when can we start testing on prisoners? Wouldn't that be just awesome? Like,
yeah, that is true. I mean, okay, so what if so on that note, let's go this route. So what if they made a deal, all right, and they said, hey, we'll cut off 5 years off your sentence if you come over here and do a test, test this on you or whatever. But then again, it's like it's got to be one of those things where what if they don't come back alive or something happens where
it doesn't
they have,
matter,
like, permanent brain damage? You know what I'm saying,
dude? You can get the COVID shot and die, and no one's held responsible.
True.
Like Pfizer's just like, oh yeah. Ugh, I wish we had more time to test it, but oops, But they don't get sued if people die, or when people die. People do die. No, here's the thing. I think the only prisoners you should be allowed to test on, though, are rapists, child molesters, and murderers. Yeah. And those are like basically the people that I know. There's a lot of liberals that will disagree with me, and you're wrong no matter what you think. You're wrong. I mean, they have destroyed so many people's families and lives, and so I think that they have earned their place to be human guinea pigs, and we do need human tests. And I think that prisoners that have fit those crimes, those atrocious crimes that can never be forgiven, should be the test subjects for all this stuff. For big pharma. I think we should give those people to Pfizer and all these big pharma companies for free. Like, yeah, there it is. There's your sentence.
Oh man, yeah. It's. I mean, how do we know whether they're not doing that right now?
I hope they are. I mean, that would just like it would make me
always
happy.
That thought.
I would love that.
Didn't they also give? Sorry to interrupt. Didn't they also give the gentleman that killed those 7 people in the church the death sentence already officially?
What are you talking about? Who killed 7 people in a church? Dylan Roof.
Dylan Roof.
What did they do to him?
They give him the death sentence officially.
Good. I mean, dude, you literally took 7 people he killed.
7 people, I think. Yeah.
You took 7 people that were in the house of God. They were there's not a worse place you can kill someone. I mean, it sucks when you kill people, but you kill people when they're at church in the house of God.
It's insane.
Dude,
insane.
Yeah, and make it a slow and painful death too while we're at it. Let's just do that. That would be even and let's put it on TV. Let's give him to the Taliban and let the Taliban have their way with him.
There you go.
I mean,
I've had it.
There's nothing you can do to him that's gonna be painful enough. Nothing. I would love to watch him die. That would be fun. That would be fun.
Oh
yeah,
man,
he's hurt too many people. I'm sorry, but you can't kill people. You can't hurt people like that, and then expect that, leniency.
Yeah.
No,
I think at that level, at that level of that type of crime, yeah, there's really there's no worth of just having our tax-paying dollars pay for somebody to just stay alive and then all that. It's just fuck no. I don't jive with that.
And I think that we as Americans, I think we're a little too soft. There's too many liberals. There's too many people that value life. And I know, that, because I have my religious stuff, but I believe eye for an eye. I really do. I think that that if you are going to kill mine, I think that I have every right to kill yours. And there's nothing that's going to change my mind. Nothing. That's why, with this whole thing going on with Afghanistan with killing these soldiers, we just lost what I think it's 13. Is it 12 or 13 now?
I think it's 12. From the last time I saw it was 12. And again, rest in peace to those troops and condolences to their family. It's insane, man, to be put in that position and just be there and holding the front lines like that. It's crazy. It's really crazy, and it's just
we just couldn't have had a worse commander in chief to be in office at a time like this. I mean, I doubt that Joe Biden is going to make it through a full presidency. I think he'll either be 25th out, like the 25th Amendment, and that where they were trying to do it with Donald Trump, where they said, "Oh, he's incompetent, he's not ready." I think that Joe Biden literally is incompetent. Like he can't figure it out. He's always got people in his earpiece. He's weird. I mean, it's weird watching someone that old. He looks like he's barely clinging to.
He's pretty old. He's there in age, man.
Well, he's just out there. Like he looks like a shell of his former self. He just does not look like he's in tune with anything. He looks like he's short-circuited out. It looks like there's so much going on with the war and with inflation and with all this stuff going on that he just literally shorted out. His brain can't keep up with this. And so all of his handlers are all around him and they're like, "Hey, this is what you got to say." So he's just literally a robot right now. And so it's not even him controlling the shot. So I think Kamala's just licking her chops like, "Oh yeah, this bitch is mine." I got some shit to do.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird.
Yeah, we're definitely dealing with that over there, and it's just hopefully we can evacuate without any more just anybody losing their lives. It's crazy. And another thing I want to put out there, what's even more sad, that one of the people, when we were watching one of those planes take off and people were hanging onto it, one of them was actually an 18-year-old kid who wanted to, from what I've read, again, I'm just giving the people kind of what I read off this article. He was actually an aspiring soccer player, 18 years old. He felt like if the Taliban are obviously, going to put a stop to that, he wanted to just continue, that dream, to follow that dream of becoming a soccer player. And he was one of the people that fell down.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think we are witnessing, and I'm not going to go too dark. I told myself that, I went dark on this a couple episodes ago, and I said, man, I can't go back to that spot. That's a pretty rough spot to be in. And I know, I'm pretty positive, pretty optimistic. But I do think as a country that America has already seen her best days. She's already shined as bright as she is going to shine. I think now we're on our way to be a shithole country. I think I mean, there's just so many ways. Like you look at cities like Chicago and New York and San Francisco, and you're literally you could look at pictures of Manila, like the slums in Manila or the slums in Cebu, and it would literally be no different than what you're seeing in San Francisco. And in fact, Chicago might actually have more murders a day than Cebu or Manila. Third world countries. So it's amazing. It's amazing witnessing the country that you grew up, the country that you were possibly indoctrinated into thinking was the best country in the world. And then you look at the reality of it and you're like, dude, this is crazy. Like we're, going around the world, we're being the world's police, but we're actually corrupt cops the whole time. Making deals with the Taliban, giving the Taliban a list of American names like, hey, you are our enemy and we swore that we were going to wipe you off the map, but we're going to give you a list of names and we need those Americans to pass through. It's so crazy. I'm like, we're done. As a nation, we are no longer a powerhouse. So move over America, let China have its reign, and let's all just enjoy the ride. But I think we should still, keep our sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. Keep a sense of humor even during the hardest times.
Do you like what the Russians did when the Russians lost their power, right? When they lost the Cold War, they just went to all vodka, and we just need our own alcohol. We need our own outlet. Maybe it can be mushrooms. Maybe it could be psychedelics, or
fuck it.
Maybe
mushrooms.
Meth. That would be pretty cool. But like, oh man, those crazy Americans, they're just so high on meth ever since they lost their reign as the world's best country. You can just buy now they're just meth heads.
You can buy meth
rat poison all the time.
Holy shit. Just piping it up, just fucking, it's like your normal thing. Like,
yep.
fuck.
Just working 80 hours a week, boss. It's all good. Whatever you need, Bezos, we got you covered.
You sent me that little picture of that capsule. You're like, I finished all my rock. I fucking love it when you send me those random fucking pictures and you just put like a fucking just a crazy caption. It's that's important, and it's important. Going with that on a serious note, keep your sense of humor. Let's just not all be fucking serious
100%.
about shit. It's like, at the end of the day, there's just so much going on in the world. It's also like it's hard not to think about it sometimes, but it's like, we need to focus just kind of on what we got going on with ourselves, with our families, and all that. Sometimes we just got to keep grounded with that and just keep on pushing, keep on providing, and just really, just keeping a good head on your shoulders. That's really it, man. Just
man. I think you raised that. Keep your family, like the things that are most important. There is just so much toxicity on the TV these days.
Sure.
There's just, it's negativity. It's all reactionary. But, you look at any of those headlines and, you talk about whether it's a moratorium on rent being canceled, and the Supreme Court said nope, it's unconstitutional, can't do it. So the headlines will read, AOC slams the Supreme Court for their ruling. And it's just they use all these words. The media has failed us. Mainstream media, they bit the forbidden fruit, right? It was the forbidden fruit of sensationalism and of money. They put money and profits over just giving us the news and keep giving us rational news. They bit the forbidden fruit, and none of them looked back, and it just destroyed American media. I hate reading American media, and I don't read it. I try to stay away from a lot of it, whether it's left wing, right wing, or people that pretend there is no center. There is no center news out there. It's people who have picked a side, and hey, I'm either a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, but no one is center, and you can't pretend to be. It doesn't exist in this country anymore.
Yeah, no, straight up. I agree with that 100%, man. Can't find the middle ground, and that's what sucks. But in other news, since we were talking about Chicago, native legend from Chicago. Well, he was born in Atlanta, I think, and then he was living in Chicago. Kanye did his third listening party to his long-awaited 10th album, Donda.
Serious? Third one?
So here's
has
one
anybody
thing,
done
Brett.
3 listening things?
He's already done 3.
Has anybody else ever done 3 listening?
Well, here's why I feel this is important to talk about. Just because we're both music heads, and obviously for me and you, I think we can agree that we like lyricists, but like that are true to the art, right? Like we're more about like the product that's delivered, where they took time to put together, from production to the audio sounding just nice. You know, you have the right people in the right positions to really put their hands and deliver a fucking final product, not something that just fucking constantly spit out. You know, they drop albums left and right, but it's just shitty.
Mumbling.
Yeah, but the fact Little Yachty is on a song, on one of his songs on his new album, and I like it, and I'll say that, okay. But here's the thing, okay, and this is why I want to talk about it. But going off what you're saying, right? Nobody's ever done this, but then I've kind of thought about it this way, right? When obviously we're just used to the format of they announce an album, they go to a radio show, they talk about it, they go to these shows, they talk about it to promote it.
Yeah.
He's taking the approach, I want to give you the experience of listening to this album with me in my, with my presence there, and just filling out the vibe and just kind of seeing the people react to when when I'm playing this new album of mine. But here's the even crazier part. As he did these listening parties, for me, I've listened to all of them, and I actually because I was so curious to know like the hype around it, and just to see what is all this about? It's like a concert or whatever. Nobody really knew about anything like when this was happening, right? He played the first version of it. I liked it. I'm like, this has to be one of his best pieces of work. Yeah, the second time around, it got better. He added more people on certain songs. He tweaked up the beat a little bit. It was like, holy shit. Like wow. You think, somebody can't really top off, not just once, not twice. The third time, holy fuck. Only him, like at this point, that's what I'm saying. We're witnessing greatness in the sense of like when Michael Jackson left his stepping stone in the music industry, the Prince, all those, all those legends back in those days. Now we're witnessing somebody that's dropped 10 albums. He's in his 40s, has a massive pull from the crowd. I mean, I think all these listening parties were sold out from what I believe, from what I can, from what I read. Not be? And sold his merch. I think they were saying he made 17 million so far from these listening parties. Listening parties, not a concert, a listening party.
Wow.
Who can do that? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to give credit when it's due at this point. Just because from production level to him spin it just like, and that was one thing too from back in the days. I always remember like in some of the interviews they were saying they were doubting him from being a rapper. Like, just stick to producing because you're really nice production wise. And that's with Kanye. Like, Kanye is the way he is. Fuck that. I'm gonna make an album and go from there. And 10 albums so far, they're pieces of work, man. But the thing with that is that, he put on a show. I'll tell you what, and that, this is just Ye being Ye, but it's like he's putting the right people when it comes to like on the songs and all that. The production level is so top tier where like he's worked on this up until now to where like some people can say, oh, I liked it this version better, or I like it now, I like it better much now. But it's insane to know that he's at this point in his career where he's just he's still at the top. Dude. Like he's not missing a fucking beat.
Yeah.
Like maybe with some of the past albums, like I say, they weren't really up there with like the first one, like Late Registration, College Dropout and all that, or Graduation. But it's like, dude, he's hitting. He's hitting. I'm just waiting for that thing to drop. It still hasn't dropped. Supposedly the rumor is today, tomorrow, he already delivered it so they can upload it to the major streaming platforms and all that. So it's going to be here soon. And I honestly want you to listen to it because like obviously he's in a different state now in his life. He's actually more, he's more in touch with his faith and all that, which is cool. That everybody needs to find their own, balance and kind of find their own, way to ground themselves. And I guess this is his way of being. And it looks like he's better off at this, the way he is right now. So, because he's been dealing with a lot of mental health issues, of course, as we talked about before with the homie Luis. He's been just dealing with a lot of demons, and of course, just the fact that he just really hasn't been the same since he, lost his mom. And I can see that, like it's tough, especially being with somebody that's raised you and then been with you up to your success, but hasn't been there to where you started your family, you had your kids. A lot of things are missing. A lot of key moments she missed, and I bet that really gets to him, you know. So
Well, let me say this about Kanye is he okay. This is where I hate the media. The media is absolutely despicable when when they use this mental illness label. Guess what? Every single one of us goes through shit. Kanye is going through shit, and his brain is processing the death of his mother the same goddamn way that anybody else would.
for real.
Okay? That's so you can call that a mental illness all you want, but what it is the natural way that your brain thinks. And so people try to lump that in with when he does something else that maybe isn't per the norm,
Yeah.
right? Where he promotes a career of drinking and smoking and shooting people. He doesn't do that anymore, from what I know. I don't know. I think in his latest music that I've heard, he's not out being all crazy like that.
He's just, it's on a different tone.
But
it's just
what
been on a different tone.
But what I'm seeing his actions do, he went to Wyoming and he built a farm. He bought a farm. Listen, people. Kanye West is the model of what you should be doing. What you should be doing. How many people are buying farms right now? I'll tell you, Bill Gates is. He has bought so much land lately, and it's for farming. And who is going to own all that food? Bill Gates is going to own a lot. But guess what? Kanye understood this. He understood the power that you have when you own the land. They're not making any more of this land. You can guess what? The Federal Reserve is printing money all the time. So all these rappers that want to sit in their music videos and show off how much money they got, that's nothing. That's monopoly. That's monopoly money. They print more of that all the time. How about you show me a video like where I saw Kanye West on his combine driving around on his ranch?
Mm-hmm.
Show me that. That's impressive. I saw that and I said, wow.
Yeah, he's with his dad.
If I could get a farm and if
Yeah.
I could own my own land like that, that would be impressive. That's the role model that Americans need, that children need to look up to. Someone who owns his own farm, someone that owns his own ranch, not someone who's showing off how many monopoly monies he can stack up and spend on strippers and drugs. Drugs are going to kill you. Cars are going to depreciate in value. Right? Kids need better role models, and I really am so thankful for Kanye West as an artist and as someone who's not afraid to be different, not afraid to lead the pack. And the media, they hate it, and they try to lump him grieving his mom that is completely normal. They try to call it a mental illness because he's acting in normal ways that your brain acts when you lose someone you love and adore and respect and look up to. This is normal, people. This is normal. People react like this. People act differently when they lose someone they love. Maybe you should love someone, and maybe when that person leaves, then you'll relate. But you don't. You love yourself too much. You love everything about you. You guys are so selfish. You guys only think about yourself. And once you figure out how to love someone besides yourself, maybe then you'll relate to Kanye a little bit more.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like I said, the toll it took on him, and just because like this album is just a lot of hints to that. Like, you know, obviously it's named after his mom. Like he's still dealing with it, and it's just, you know, it's tough to go through that, living life like that, you know, like without your number one lady. So it's, you know, I definitely feel for it. And on another note too, just to talk to, I want to hear your opinion on this, because I think it's one of those things that's out there in regards to this whole the listening party that he just put on this last Thursday. He brought out, it was kind of pretty random. So he had a few people come out with him, like, so pretty much just to paint the picture of how the stage was set when he did this listening party, he actually had an exact replica of the home he was raised in built inside the stadium. And he was just sitting on the porch, kind of like listening to it, like vibing out. And then all you see was the first person that stepped out, Marilyn Manson.
Wow.
Second person that stepped out, it was somebody else. I forgot. I think it was this other rapper, the Baby. And then it was him. But there's a lot of obviously controversy with the fact that if I remember correctly, Marilyn Manson was hit with some sexual allegations because he did something it was a number amount of women that came out that were saying that he sexually assaulted them and all that, which I didn't know until the fact when obviously I saw it trending and all that. And then we also saw that the Baby got into some heat because at some festival he was performing at, he made some hints, like kind of targeting the gay community that they thought they took offense to. So they pretty much try to cancel him out. So now you have your taste of the cancel culture where they really went at his neck to, you offended us. He got dropped from a few festivals. I love it. And he stuck to his ground. He released a video that was pretty controversial, pretty much saying, for all this and now you're really trying to, fuck with my money, fuck with my pockets, mess with my all this stuff. And he's pretty much he was holding his ground. But then he came out and said pretty much, it was a statement where he was pretty much trying to say he was sorry, but it really wasn't, kind of type deal. That's kind of how I understood it. I could be wrong, but he got flack for having those two guys at that listening party.
I'm glad he did.
So, and he brought them out. He brought them out. But out of anybody else, like Marilyn Manson was kind of the most the randomest one, because I believe it's like I don't know. Again, I really don't know too much about the guy. I know he was like a really at the time when I was growing up, he was really out there in regards to like being a top rock star, with his music and all that.
I jammed him back in the day.
And but is he kind of satanic, or I don't know? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, is he satanic or he?
No, not satanic. He never. His biggest album was Antichrist Superstar.
Okay.
And his whole message was, if you are going to use religion and be so afraid of religion, or let religion scare you to the point where my music you think is demonic and from the devil or whatever, like, you have a weak religion. If you think that I'm going to convert people because of my music, then you have a weak religion. You have a weak faith. And the thing is, he's got a point. And his music, I'm telling you, Antichrist Superstar was a solid album, man.
Oh, really?
That's one of, I'm telling you, that's one of those ones that I don't think I was ever allowed to buy it, but I listened to every single song when I could. I think I burned it. I think I went over to a friend's house and I'm like, hey, throw me some MM. And I'm not talking about Eminem. I'm talking about Marilyn Manson. I want Marilyn Manson. I don't want Eminem. I want Marilyn Manson.
And I think, I think that makes more sense because in an interview I watched a while ago, because I was more curious to know who he really was, because I wasn't really trying to go off like, obviously I asked if he was satanic because that's what people were saying, like he was and all that. But I never took it as that, because in that interview that I was watching, he wasn't talking about that.
Yeah.
I think he went more in the lines of what you were saying. Like, if you think that I'm able to convert like people to think about the devil or whatever the case may be, then your religion isn't what it really is. Yeah, it's really you. And that's kind of how I understood it, but I wasn't really too sure. So I kind of wanted to ask you and see if you knew a little bit about that. But yeah, he had him out there and the Baby out there, and he was just chilling with Kanye, listening to the album, and I guess he has a small role in the album where he lended his voice on it somehow. But obviously he got a lot of backlash on it, saying that, why would he bring those, especially those two people with on stage with him or whatever, because of their allegations, or especially him, Marilyn Manson, with his sexual allegations and all that. Because I mean, it's kind of like if, let's say, they do charge him for it, he goes to jail. I would feel like it'd be kind of fucked at that point, because it's like, what would be the reason for that? But at this point, there's really nothing like he hasn't been arrested or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask if any of those people listen to Tupac's music? Because
true.
When Tupac was murdered, he was still facing charges of rape and sodomy.
Yep.
So are they still listening to Tupac's music? I'm just asking.
Fair question.
Because if you're gonna cancel them, you got to cancel Pac.
Yeah.
Can't do it. They were facing the same allegations, guilty until proven innocent, right?
Yeah, that's how
Or is it
works.
innocent until proven guilty? You tell me. If you're
Straight
trying
up.
to cancel these people before their time in court, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. No, touche.
That's what I say. So I applaud Kanye for having the cojones to step up and bring these people in and let these men face court and do whatever, but innocent until proven guilty. Welcome to this world. This is what a concept, right? You know, this whole and I love any time that you can hit up the cancel culture brigade, because they're just, I mean, literally 99% of them are still living at home with their parents. You know, they're single moms because the dad's left because the mom was just such a nagger, you know. She was just always bitching all the time, and dad's like, fuck this. I'm leaving you and the kids. And then the kids turn into this cancel culture like, oh, I hate men and I hate dads and now I hate you. And so they go on Twitter just full of anger, full of just anger. And you know, their biggest achievement is if they can cancel a celebrity. It's a game to them. So sorry, and you know, dad still doesn't want to talk to you.
Daddy doesn't love you anymore.
Sorry, yeah, daddy left that ass.
Nah, man, but to end it off with that topic, it's just, you know, he's giving this music experience that has never been done before, I feel like, and just the way that he's doing it hasn't been done before at all, and the presentation and everything, and him just really showcasing his skills from rapping to production. It's top tier.
Hell yeah, man.
He's going to be known for this, and that's just one thing where we just got to witness this and kind of just take it in for what it is at this point. And we're just waiting for the album, man. We're waiting for the album, and it's I'm gonna be bumping it because some of those songs on there are fucking hard as fuck. He has a track with The Weeknd that I think you'll like, since you like The Weeknd.
I like me some Weeknd.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He has one track that's solid. I think you're gonna fuck with it.
I still play Fortnite every now and then, and Weeknd, he has his dance on there. You know, the
really?
blinding lights dance. Yeah, so I had to cop that one day. I was like, I got that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man. The Weeknd's, he's a good singer, man. He almost kind of low key reminds me in some of the way he sings and hits these notes, like Michael Jackson. Do you kind of get that vibe?
The song, I Feel It Coming with Daft Punk.
Yeah.
That was literally him mimicking Michael Jackson, the king of pop.
I love that song. Daft Punk.
Yeah,
I love
man.
That song.
I feel it coming.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Man, I'm just
that's a jam.
You know, when you get goosebumps when you listen to a song, I'm like, man, I am gonna go home and.
Dude, I gotta send you a song. Actually, now that we're talking about songs, I've been listening to, because I go all over. When it comes to music, I'm not really your typical rap hip hop head. I listen to everything, like from funk. I might like a Garth Brooks songs. I like. Nice. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say that I do or do not. I think I might have liked one of his songs, but you know who Billy Cadwell is? Billy Cadwell?
Never heard of her.
So, well, it's a he. But okay, "Do for Love." You remember that song, right, Tupac?
Yeah.
That song that he sampled, that's Billy Caldwell.
Oh.
His name's Billy Caldwell. Yeah, dude. Okay. That's
a solid track.
Yeah, it's I
wonder why
track.
It took him getting killed to finally get that song released. Couldn't you have released that sooner?
No, but he's still alive though.
Tupac?
No, Tupac. Oh, I thought about Billy Caldwell. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's in Cuba, bro. We know. We know.
Yeah, that's true. He's
read
living
the Rolling Stone article, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so what about Billy? What's he saying?
Dude, there's just one, like you were. No, I'm just relating to what you were saying. Like there's those songs that give you those goosies. Oh, dude, I ran to this one cut where I'm like, when I'm gonna make my second child, this is the track right here. Straight up. It was this Billy Caldwell. It's called, I forgot the name of it, but I'll have to send it to you. Dude, I was writing, because it was one of those things where like I plugged in my iPhone and it played this random track. And I was just bumping. I was like, I got to repeat this song. So I put it on my Bluetooth speaker at home and I was jamming it out the whole day. And it's rare when you come towards like songs like that where like You're
get a
really
boner
jiving
by
to
the
this.
end of the.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely massive, massive one. Full veins.
Yeah, like,
everything.
hey, you going camping? Because I see your tennis pitch.
No, man, I'll have to send it your way. It's really it's a soul R&B ish like vibe. Like it's baby making music pretty
Oh
much.
man,
But
I hope it's something like R. Kelly. R. Kelly meets Bill Cosby type vibe, you know, like I'm roofing your drink, and I'm peeing on your face.
Jeez.
Yeah, they went hard in the paint,
hot, man.
right?
They are fucking sticking it to him, man. He's done. Yeah.
I don't know, man. We thought Bill Cosby was
that's
done with all
right.
those drinks, and
Straight
they're
up.
like, nope, he's
Dude.
out,
that
not
was
guilty. Y'all
crazy.
counts to fill me.
No, but on that note, man,
Can't cancel America's dad.
No, man. Yeah, that's true. Can't cancel the what is it? The fatherly figure from the Bill Cosby show. No, man. But that's pretty much it, man. On my end, I mean, more of the story. Kanye West is a legend. Can't wait for Donda. I'm just ready for it. But on that note, besides that, bro, I got nothing else for you, man.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but you got me in the mood tonight. I was just my glasses kept getting foggy every 5 minutes. Had to clean them every 5 minutes. So it must be that musk that you're wearing. I could smell it.
Smell it to the mic.
Damn, I love it when he wears that. That high karate aftershave, baby.
The high karate.
Just like Uncle.
Oh my god, we fucking this is the beauty of the Statistics podcast, man. The fucking randomness,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, for all you audio listeners, you gotta watch the video to make it more sense. And a lot of people are like, "Why the fuck are they laughing at the most random things?" But you have to watch the video. And of course, with that, you definitely got to subscribe to our YouTube page at the Statistics podcast, where you will find this on our catalog of content, and you'll find our previous 70, this being 71 episodes from number 1 up until 71.
71.
So,
that was the year Pac was born.
Oh yeah, man. So RIP to him, legend. But and also find us on Instagram at the Statistics podcast, where you can just keep up with the latest and greatest of what we got going on. We post up preview clips for when we're going to release an episode on that Friday. We try to release a new episode every Friday so you can get the weekend right. And also we have a new segment, which we call This and That with it's me and then the homie Matt. Mm-hmm. And we just talk Marvel, some Star Wars, tech, just the nerd stuff. So me and him jive on that. And we release that on every Monday. For now, that's only on YouTube. So that's why you need to subscribe to that, because you will find that only on YouTube exclusively. Yes. So you can check that out. And I also want to do a shout out again for the homie Bree reached out. We need to talk to him. He wants to chop it up. He actually released, you need to go listen to it. It's a clip for his new album that he's going to be releasing. He put up the intro, and dude, the kid's got talent.
Hey Bree, I see you. I've been watching your Instagram channel. Mm-hmm. You're making noise. I see you, man.
Yeah,
we're for you all the way.
Yeah, we're gonna have to touch touch tips as in
tips.
Yeah, touch tips with the homie Bree, and have him on again so we can just talk about everything that's going on with him and all that, because I guess we're witnessing the journey, and we want to see, anybody that we've come, close with succeed on their journey. So we'll definitely do that. But with all that being said, we'll catch you in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Again, thank you for everybody that's listening, tuned in, downloaded our episodes, been following us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page and all that. Thank you very much. Can't say that enough. But again, we'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Peace.
Goodbye.